Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Medicine Buddha. I'm not Lama Rod. I want to welcome everyone as you're coming in. Thanks for being here. I wanted to do something a little bit different tonight. Given what's been going on today in the world, I thought maybe we'd sit in silence for a couple of moments and just show our respect for the tremendous suffering that's going on, the violence that's occurred, and for us to be together in this space for healing. So just sit for a couple minutes and then we'll begin. Thank you. Thank you for those who may have joined a couple of minutes late. We're going to start with a couple of minutes of silence to honor the immense amount of suffering that's happened today. And we're all here together for healing. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Medicine Buddha. I'm not Lama Rod, but thank you for joining. We'll get started in just a minute. Eric has put the prayer request document link in the chat. So if you want to go ahead and start entering those in, we'll offer prayers toward the end of this practice. It's good to see everyone. And if there's anybody new, please be sure to introduce yourself in the chat. And thanks everyone for taking a couple minutes of silence tonight. I'm not totally sure about everything that's been going on, but I've caught a couple glimpses and it just seems like a pretty tense and pain-filled day for many people. So we're gathered here for Medicine Buddha, which is about healing. And it is about us addressing pain and suffering so that we may move toward liberation for each of us, but for the world. Tonight, I'd like to offer a little talk, a little bit about my practice and a little bit about me. Then we'll go into a little breath practice, the 7 homecomings, and the regular Medicine Buddha chanting. We'll offer the prayers that you enter into the document toward the end, and we will, of course, be praying for spoken and unspoken prayers. So thank you. Please feel free to enter anything you're feeling in the chat. I will say that I'm not a multitasker, so I can't read and talk at the same time, but I'm sure other people would like to hear from you if you feel the need to be heard. I'm just going to share a little bit about the importance of this practice to me and why I do it. So some of you know my name is Carole. I currently live in the lands of the coastal Salish, also known as Seattle. I am the firstborn daughter of Chinese refugees, and I found myself drawn to this practice, both out of a curiosity of Buddhism. I found that Medicine Buddha in the focus on the earth and body grounding practices, as well as the attention toward healing from pain and suffering for this world, really captured my attention. So I've been practicing Medicine Buddha for, I think, maybe 1.5 years. And I'm just going to share a little bit about the meaning of doing this practice. It's really resonated with me on a few different levels, a little bit because of my ancestry. I think some of my relatives were Buddhist, practicing Buddhist. I was not raised in a Buddhist household, but I think some of the values were carried throughout through the bloodline. And I think by doing this practice, it has helped me understand a burden, maybe a trauma that's been carried by the female ancestors in my family. And it's taken me many years, maybe my whole life, to understand the depth of that samskara. I only understood it in very superficial ways before that. I kind of thought of everyday, hurts. And I didn't understand the depth of what was so hard for me to overcome. And it was through these kinds of teachings and Lama Rod's transparency about the complexity of Buddhism. I mean, it hasn't always been for the masses per se. It's been something that has been applied to certain types of people or practiced by certain types of people. And I think his transparency also helped me find facility in entering these kinds of practices, but it also mirrored my own life. And specifically the act of chanting, which we will be doing in a little while, is something that really has surfaced a lot of this trauma that I referenced. I'm going to give you a little history about my family and my ancestry. I have been tapped by my grandmothers to heal. They were both born in China. They lived there until 1949 and 1951, respectively. They left because of the communist takeover. They both lived in a time of foot binding, which was a practice that was imposed by on girls for different reasons. If you're not familiar with that practice, it's a practice in which girls had their feet placed in very small shoes, just a couple of inches long, and their feet were not allowed to grow. So they were, even if the feet were supposed to grow, the shoes kept them from actually expanding. It was a very painful process and often led to infections and whatnot. But the reason for this foot binding practice is very much to do with marriage, value of marriage, I guess, so that it symbolized that the girls could endure a great deal of suffering, but that they were also not able to run away. So the girls were, and then became women, were valued because of their helplessness, and they were seen as property. I knew both of my grandmothers. I was raised with them. One of them had their feet bound just briefly, and the other did not, because both my great-grandfathers chose not to impose that kind of pain on their daughters. And in my limited view of the world, I kind of thought that, oh, since my great-grandfathers had chosen a different path, that, the women in my life were liberated. And I really was kind of naive in that. I thought, oh, they're so modern, and my grandmothers symbolized more maybe like a revolutionary act or something. But in reality, these cultures and lineages are very, very old. My middle name actually is a name that can be traced back 10 generations. So it's part of a poem, and that just gives us an idea of how much tradition is carried even within my own bloodline. So in my family, during this period of my grandmother's lives, they witnessed a great deal of violence. There were grave atrocities as they fled China. They lived during the times of occupation. And so they just witnessed a ton of trauma. And as the tradition prescribes, they were obedient. They didn't talk about it. And then their transition to this country kept them very, very much silenced. They didn't really speak English. And as proper wives, mothers, etc., they were sort of instructed to be quiet. And so, in sort of sitting through all of this, you're probably wondering how this relates to Medicine Buddha. But in sitting with these practices, I started to understand myself the power of being silenced, and then the actual act of silencing myself. This trauma that my mother, my grandmothers all encountered kept them in some sort of limbo. And actually the traditions that I thought had been erased because of these acts of my great-grandfathers, they were actually embedded further into the practices and the opinions, because the trauma kept them kind of stuck. And then, there was just a lot of fear that was caused by having lost a country, their home country, all of their practices, and many of their family members. So in the past few months, I've been sitting with my own samskaras. This weekend, I felt like I was in quicksand. I just couldn't really get a grasp on where I was going. I was questioning my practices a little bit, just feeling like I was not making any kind of revelation, like I wasn't able to make sense of the samsaras or understand what, like, my own suffering, just to be a little bit selfish or self-centered. But I'm kind of using this story right now because I feel that I'm feeling that it's very important for me to be open about how these practices have emerged in my body, and how they have the chanting itself has surfaced some of this understanding, which is sort of the point, is that the more we can do these practices, the more we can see the lessons, right? And then we can address the suffering. So in the past few months, I started to see this truth unfold. And even a few weeks ago, I had the opportunity to talk with Lama Rod, and I kind of jokingly called him my mother, because I felt that something about the way that he has come into my life and these practices have been a mother. They have birthed a new understanding of what it means to have carried this female lineage for generations, but also how I have played it out in this modern world. Some examples are, I used to be very, very much an activist. I went to University of Wisconsin-Madison, stood there with, all kinds of signs and, yelled, made awesome friends. But, we were always yelling and fighting, and we were angry, and we thought we were making progress. We would see some capitulations by the administration, and we'd get our pictures in the paper or whatever, or we'd get more and more allies. But actually, now that I look at it, we're kind of in a circle. We might feel that we were making some progress, but actually we were trapped within these institutions that really could not hear. There's no way for them really. We all of us could not really hear what liberation would mean. My field was education. I ended up getting a PhD in education at that school, studied with some great professors. I had also gone to Harvard, where I started a conference for people of color. And, I was going to change the world back then. I was, so well educated. I had all these stamps of approval, and, everybody was talking about diversity and like equity. And I was like going to change the world. But, I still had this body. I still had this body that looks like my grandmother's, that people constantly question whether I'm a foreigner or not. And I was silenced, because nobody wants to see someone that looks like me make waves. We're supposed to be obedient. And I really, it's taken me many years to figure out that that's very much a mirror of what was going on with my grandmothers and their feet. I was also embodying this silencing of myself, so that the more, I had fancy jobs or whatever, but every time I opened my mouth, pretty much, or every time I spoke the truth on behalf of marginalized students or stood with them, I really faced a lot of backlash. And it wasn't too long before it wasn't actually safe for me to go to work anymore. So I left that profession. And so, it sort of sounds maybe miraculous, but this is like a 30-year journey or something, in which I finally, through these practices, started seeing this connection of these two women from China who, didn't speak English and were, good wives, good grandmothers, etc. And, what was going on with me, this highly educated, thinking I'm this, hot shit, independent, whatever, ball busting, gonna change the world person, but actually ended up being silenced because I actually had not overcome that same curse or samsara. So I guess I really wanted to take the opportunity today to bear witness to the importance of chanting, because I think for me especially, and for a lot of people who've been silenced for different reasons, and we're seeing it all over the world right now, where people who stand up, people who speak the truth are first and foremost being silenced or having their bodies somehow subjected to violence. And I think I just want to give a testimony that this chanting and this practice have unlocked a lot for me. I had to learn the hard way. There's no degrees, there's no fancy marriages, there's no Teslas that can really bring the kind of relief from this kind of suffering. And it was through saying these prayers over and over and over again, and sitting with people that believed and trusted, people like all of you in the little squares, especially, that, gave me the courage to trust this process. And I think a lot of our society is trying to encourage us to believe in the banks or the institution, the 3D, the material. And at this moment, we have nothing to trust in those anymore. We have to trust the unknown. We have to give ourselves to these practices. There's just no other way. So I guess, I just want to hold this space today for all of us to really have the courage to, to go into the unknown, to trust what we don't know, to absolutely, kind of turn our backs on everything that we may have been raised with, because it's not working. I mean, it's very clear today, it's just not working. There's a whole community of people here that, we're doing love, we're loving each other. And I'm just really, really grateful for the dedication of all of you and all of the people who've held space here. because I don't see any other alternatives. And so I hope that was helpful. I hope that, encouraged more people to, turn that corner or to keep coming, because yeah, it's in the doing. It's in the doing of the practices. It's in the doing of the love. It's in sitting with your body, listening to your body, being quiet. It's pretty much all the things that the Instagrams and the billboards and the banks, it's all the stuff they don't want us to do. That's what we should be doing, so yeah, I did want to, if there's anybody that really wanted to say something today, I don't want to silence anyone. We don't usually, I don't know if we do this or not when we have the guest host, but yeah, I felt that it was important to open up the floor. I don't have answers, but I'd love to hear from anybody who's been inspired or has something to share.
So folks should be able to unmute themselves, and please feel free to just unmute yourselves and speak freely.
I'd like to say something. I'm Karen Marie. Hi, everybody. And Carole, I just felt really deeply with you today. And I think it's, no accident that, I did a practice where I woke up this morning at 4 a.m., old school, sat down, did the chanting, did the meditation, and then did my day. Because I've just been up against a lot of grief that you can't get your hands around, and a lot of it is just interacting with these systems, being, kind of ground up by these systems in a cog. You're trying to be of service, but the reality is you're a tool, and this is the liberation, this is the freedom. So I really agree with you. It's inside, that's where the revolution's happening. It's inside. And I think that's so powerful that we get to come together around that. So thank you for taking this on, and everybody for being here.
Carole, I also want to acknowledge the power of your vulnerability in sharing such personal work, because the personal is universal. And I saw myself reflected in your story. And I too found access to consciousness about my own intergenerational suffering in this practice. And like Karen Marie just said, today I was meditating. In meditation, some similar themes came up for me around healing and liberation. So thank you for sharing with us so beautifully and so with such heartfelt authenticity. Thank you.
Carole, I would just like to thank you for, in the same direction that other people have shared. It's just such a gift to hear about how this practice has been transformational for you, and to feel more connected, less alone, or more like part of this Sangha. This is a virtual space, but it really feels a lot less virtual when I hear you share what you shared, and I'm really grateful for that. Thank you.
Thank you. It's nice to hear from a few of you. And of course, it's always nice to look out and see all the little squares. I think at this time, I'd like to invite us to do a short meditation, and then we'll do the 7 homecomings. Then we'll do the chant. And at the end, we will offer prayers from the prayer list. So right now would be a good time to add any further prayers to the document. And as you're ready, I'm going to lead a meditation that has a component of breath. So if that's something that you're not too comfortable with, I just want to give you a little heads up. All of this is optional. It's just nice to sit with all of you. So whatever you feel like joining in, it's fine. I'm not the world's greatest chanter as far as my voice goes. I'm still learning how to be public with it. So we'll see how that goes. But for right now, I'd like to invite all of you to take a seat, or you can lay down if that's more comfortable for you. And as you settle into your chair, I'd like you to feel the 4 corners of your feet on the ground, your sits bones solidly placed on your seat. And if you'd like, maybe do a little bit of swaying so that you feel centered on your seat, so that you can be comfortable for a little while. Move maybe back and forth, sway side to side a little. And if you're comfortable, you can relax your eyelids, either halfway or all the way. And right now I'm going to invite you to take a breath and just clear out whatever was going on just before now. Arrive in this space. Take a few deep breaths just on your own. Let go of the day, let go of any thoughts in your mind. And now we'll bring our attention back to our sits bones. And as you're feeling centered, I'd like for you to take a very slow inhale and trace that inhale up your nose, down your throat. Allow it to really fill your lungs, the bottom, all around the sides. And then gently and slowly exhale and trace that breath to your throat and nose again, or out your mouth. Let's take a few very purposeful breaths like that if you're comfortable. Observing it, the air moving into your body, really allowing your lungs to fill up, feeling that back body especially. Fill up with that clean air, and then slowly exhaling. Take a few more very slow breaths like that. Allowing that fresh air, that new air to really nourish you And then when you're ready, exhaling that. Let's take 2 more very slow, deep breaths. Watching the air as it moves and fills your body. Watching as it leaves your body. And again, as it enters your body and nourishes you, nourishes your whole body, all the cells in your body. And as it leaves your body, let's just sit for a few seconds here. Maybe noticing your spine, how straight it is, stacking your shoulders above your hips, but really feeling the energy flow freely from your seat up your spine, into your skull, out the top of your skull. Maybe you might need to make a couple of adjustments to make that flow more easy. And as you're ready, we'll bring our attention back to the seat and the feet again, where we're aware of the earth and the beauty and power of the earth to hold us here, to feed us with the energies, whatever we need right now that's coming through the earth, the people who've inhabited the land before, all the many blessings that the earth provides for us. We're very, very connected to the earth and its energies right now. Give everything that you need to the earth, any extra weight, whatever burdens you feel that you're carrying, the earth is here to support you. Maybe you or many of your ancestors or those who have inhabited this land, they have gifts for you right now, some energy, some love. Receive that. And as you're ready, we're going to begin the 7 homecoming practices. For the first homecoming, we ask that our guides, teachers, mentors, elders who've been here for us before, we invite them into this circle now for this time of healing. Have in mind those who've expressed love and compassion toward you, toward me, toward us. And imagine them all gathering around, holding you, holding us in a circle. Welcome them. Relax. Breathe with them. And allow them to hold you right now. Can you feel them surrounding you? Second homecoming is what is called the wisdom texts. Bring to mind some of the texts that have helped deepen your wisdom. They might be books, teachings, artwork, scriptures. anything that helps you experience clarity, openness, love, and compassion. Those are your sacred texts. Bring in the essence of these texts. Imagine that they're present, that you can see or touch them. Welcome your texts and imagine them with your guides. And allow these texts to hold you, inspire you during this practice. The third homecoming is the community. Think of the communities, groups, and spaces where you feel love, being accepted and supported, and being happy. Think of the groups where you feel that you can be loved and you can love others. Invite those communities and groups into this space. Imagine them with your guides and your wisdom texts. Welcome your communities and allow yourself to be held by those communities. The fourth homecoming is your ancestors. Reflect on those ancestors who want the best for you, who want you to be happy, who want you to be safe. You may or may not know them, but you come from a lineage. Invite those people into your circle as well. And think of those that you want to be connected to. At this time, you are what's called a lineage holder. So welcome your ancestors to sit with your wisdom texts, your community, and your ancestors. The fifth homecoming is the earth. At this time, reflect on the importance of the earth under you and how it sustains your life and the lives of countless others. You know that there's energy in the earth, the energy of sustainability, stability, and foundation. It also helps ground all of our experiences. At this time, imagine yourself touching the earth, being surrounded by the earth, allowing it to hold you. Invite the energy of the earth into this circle as well. Allow yourself to be held by the earth. The sixth homecoming is silence. This time, reflect on the generosity of silence as something that helps you have space to be with yourself. Think of the importance of leaning into silence, what you learn in the silence, and what is there for you in the silence. Allow the silence to be part of your circle as well. The seventh homecoming is yourself. Begin by reflecting on your experiences of your mind and your body. Consider how your experiences are valuable, important, and crucial. Bring in all the parts of yourself to your awareness, all of them. As you embrace yourself, embrace all the other aspects of the homecoming circle. Be present to all the entities, the texts, the ancestors, the silence. And as we move on in this Medicine Buddha practice, be aware of all the ways that you are being held, all the ways that you are being inspired. And know that you are cared about and loved. So we'll move into the Medicine Buddha chant at this time. First, we'll start with the mantra of invitation. We begin first by saying the word Om to open. Om. Om Mila Sangye Kino Soha. 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 Medicine Buddha, I pray that you know and look upon me now. Now we'll start with the main mantra. Tayata Om Bekanse Bekanse Maka Bekanse Raza Sumagate Soha. Tayata Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Raza Sumagate Soha. Tayata Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Raza Sumagate Soha. Teata Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Raza Sumagate Soha. Teata Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Raza Sumagate Soha. Teata Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Raza Sumagate Soha. Teata Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Raza Sumagate Soha. Teata Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Raza Sumagate Soha. Teata Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Raza Sumagate Soha. Teata Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Raza Sumagate Soha. Teata Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Raza Sumagate Soha. Teata Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Raza Sumagate Soha. Teata Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Raza Sumagate Soha. Teata Om Bekanse Bekense, Maha Bekense, Razasuma Gate Soha, Teata, Bekense, 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 Bekense, Maha Bekense, Razasuma Soha, Teata, Bekense, Bekense, Maha Bekense, Razasuma Gate 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 Soha. Like this, I pray for the end of pain and suffering and the root of pain and suffering. And I release the energy of this prayer out to all the world so that we all may be liberated. I will read the prayer request now. And I'd ask at this time that these prayers be heard by those who are more powerful than us, who are outside of us, who are watching over us. Let us pray for Kent, who is suffering from depression, confusion, and feeling lost and overwhelmed. We're offering prayers for the occurrence of serious mental illness within my family and a student at my internship that is being removed from the university, who will enter a psych hospital and most likely experience homelessness following a hospital stay. Please pray for all beings experiencing mental unease and not being adequately housed or able to have contact with family for various reasons. Thank you, Anne. We pray for SR as she travels through the bardo, for KRB as she learns to walk in this world without her mother. We offer prayers for Carole, who served in the Marine Corps at Camp Lejeune and now suffers from brain tumors and other health issues. May all those exposed to toxins be healed. We pray for the end of gun violence throughout the world. We offer prayers for the young dancer YB, who is undergoing a medical emergency, for her family and friends, for my nephew BB, who is recovering from being hit by a car on his bicycle, for KNN, recovering from a knee injury, and for all those touched by violence. May we all feel safe, healthy, and free. We offer prayers for all trans people. May we be safe and protected. May we be celebrated and cared for. We offer prayers for Andy as she navigates her experience of memory loss and for all those suffering in Nashville tonight. We offer prayers for the health of my daughter who is getting sick again after a month of being hospitalized for a serious illness, for the health of my mother who is immunocompromised and was with her yesterday, for my wife and I to stay healthy and grounded as we work through whatever comes up. We offer prayers to connect and feel ease despite chronic pain, prayers that I can make music. We offer prayers to those who experience violence and for those who come to believe that violence is the only way. We offer prayers for people who live with chronic pain and illness. May we all know healing, relief, ease, and well-being. We offer prayers for my boy Bubba and his heart disease. We offer prayers for me in finding my way out of a thick fog bank onto the sunlit shore. We offer prayers for my brother Sam in this healing journey to love and accept himself. We offer prayers for aunties Rosie and Dusty as they deal with the onset of dementia. We offer prayers that we all can find rest and peace. We offer prayers for my friend Jen as her and her family navigate life after her father's cancer diagnosis. We offer prayers for my brother Patrick in his healing. We offer prayers for my children and for their hopeful growth as intended. They are my students, but I am holding them. I pray you do as well. We offer prayers for Anne Begwan. May he be free of suffering. May he allow healing of ancestral wounds. May he accept his locations of power and privilege and direct them toward the liberation of all. We offer prayers for Heidi. May she find some comfort and peace. We offer prayers for Serene and her trauma healing journey. We offer prayers for my friend HW and all who are suffering from COVID and long COVID. May they be free from brain fog and breathe with ease. Oops. We offer prayers for all who are targeted by racist, homophobic, and transphobic systems, and for myself to be free from self-doubt as I prepare for a disciplinary hearing with my university dean. May she find space to see and support me in my experience of the conflict with a colleague, and may all harm ease. We offer prayers for all those who do not meet the expectations of dominant culture. We offer prayers for my brother in his difficult work as an oncologist while stuck in the Western medical system. We sit knowing that these prayers have been uttered, that there are many requests for comfort, for love. And we move forward with the knowledge that these prayers are being heard. I'd like to return to the Medicine Buddha chant just for a few rounds. And then we'll come back to the space together. Antayata Bekanse, Maha Bekanse, Raza Sumagate Soha. Teata 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 Umbekense, Bekense, Maha Bekense, Raza Sumagate Soha. Teata Umbekense, Bekense, Maha Bekense, Raza Sumagate Soha. Like this, I pray for the end of pain and suffering and the root of pain and suffering. And I release the energy of this prayer out to all the worlds so that we all may be liberated. And let's turn our attention back to our seats just for a moment. If you want to close your eyes again, return to that quiet space where you're being held by your homecoming circle. Just feel all that energy, all that power around you. You're not alone. They are there for your healing. All you have to do is ask. And at this moment, we will thank all those who have come to greet us, to support us in this circle, and acknowledge what they've given us. They're always there. Thank them. And let's take a couple more breaths in this silence. And as we begin to enter this space together, perhaps notice the air on your skin, some sounds in your room that you're in. We take deeper breaths as we begin to come out of this meditation and this prayer space. And as you feel ready, you can gently move a little bit. You might want to take a couple twists, stretch, rub your legs a little bit. You can slowly begin to open your eyes and adjust to the room you're in. So at this time, I'd like to invite us to Shanti Deva's prayer. And if we're open to it, there's a suggestion to do it popcorn style. If that sounds like something people would like to participate in. I'm not really sure how to gauge.
And just in case this informs anyone's decision making, what we mean is maybe like a line. This is an experiment, so welcome to Bhumi Sparsha. Maybe a line by line kind of situation, or whatever you want by whatever you want kind of reading situation, and we'll all fill it in together. And still doing 3 rounds is I would like 3 rounds, but we can do whatever feels good. And if you would like to share but want to ensure that you will not be featured on the recording at all, just be sure to turn off your video while you offer, and you won't appear on the recording, just in case that helps support participation for anyone. Of course, if no one wants to do this.
Oh, I was waiting. I made up that Carole
How
was
would you
going to
like to
start.
begin? Shall I begin?
Sure.
Yeah.
May I be a protector to those without protection.
A leader for those who journey.
And a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore.
May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away.
May I be the doctor and the medicine.
May I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed.
Just like space and the great elements such as earth.
May I always support the life of all the boundless creatures.
And until they pass away from pain.
May I also be the source of life.
For all the realms of varied beings.
That reach unto the ends of space.
May I be a protector to those without protection.
A leader
to those who journey.
And a boat, a bridge, a passage.
For
For
those
those
desiring the further shore.
May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away.
May I be the doctor and the medicine.
And may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed.
Just like space and the great elements such as earth.
May I always support the life of all the boundless creatures.
And until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life.
For
all
all
the realms of varied beings that reach unto the ends of space.
May I be a protector to those without protection.
leader for those who journey.
And a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore.
May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away.
May I be the doctor and the medicine.
And may I be the nurse.
Sick beings in the world until everyone is healed.
Just
Like space.
And the great elements such as earth. Sorry.
May I always support the life of all the boundless creatures.
And until they pass away from pain.
May I also be the source of life.
For all the realms of varied beings.
That reach into the ends of space.
Great job. Does anybody have any questions or want to speak at all?
I have something that I think I'd like to share. During the meditation, at one point you said something about like imagining our burden and what we're dealing with going to the earth and the earth being there to support us. And it just started pouring rain outside. It was really nice, really special moment. Thank you all for practicing with me. This space is really helpful.
I just want to say thank you to Carole for doing a really beautiful, authentic, and vulnerable and loving job tonight.
Thank you. And for anybody who's interested, I think there will probably be a call for community leaders in the near future. So it's a great way to deepen your own practice and get to know the community in a different way. No pressure though.
I love your cold space holder sitting next to you there.
Always has to get in on the action.
I just want to thank you so much for sharing, and you as well, Sharon. And thank you, Eric, for hosting the tech, and for everybody. I don't get to join you as often as I did earlier because I teach on Mondays and Wednesdays now. And so I'm just so happy to be here with you tonight and to practice in lifetime. Thank you. With you, rather than with a recording. So thank you.
Well, thanks everyone. I think Lama Rod's here next week. The real thing.
This is subject to reality. And who knows? We got quantum situations, you know. But I believe Lama Rod will not be here next week. So actually, if anyone is curious about exploring bringing their practice to bear in the way that Carole held this evening, please feel free to consider that. Check out the Medicine Buddha Materials archive, which has anything that you would need to feel fully prepared to the extent possible to do so. But yes, this is a very important expression of Medicine Buddha practice, especially for Lama Rod. It's really important for him that people feel not pressured but in any way, but really simply welcome, open-heartedly to show up in whatever way is real for you. We all benefit from it. So the invitation is out there. Send me an email if you're curious. And thank you again, Carole, for just your presence as an incredible blessing.
And in case anybody's ever wondering, Eric is right there holding your hand because it's a little bit different, you know, but Eric is. Well, thank you, everyone. We'll see you soon.